United States government quietly pumped $19 billion into the banking system in order to stop financial stress from spreading. And that is not normal. Okay? That's an emergency move. And this only happens when something is breaking behind the scenes. Banks are getting rescued right now, and retail investors just dumped $48 billion into equities in the last 21 days. That's the biggest buying spree in history. This exact setup has happened before every single major market crash. JP Morgan just released this chart showing that the strongest retail equity flows ever recorded are happening right now. Not in 2021, not the dot-com bubble, and not the housing boom. At the start of 2022, before the bear market that we saw that year, retail had purchased around $33 billion. Then, when the market started correcting heavily, they sold nearly $10 billion at the bottom. They bought high and they sold low. And now people are doing it again, except this is bigger. Barclays is showing that individual investor exposure is the highest it's been since 1997. That's 2 years before the dot-com bubble exploded. The Federal Reserve data is showing that people have almost 50% of all of their money in stocks. That's higher than 99. It's higher than 07, right before the GFC. If this were 07 and the market collapsed, you'd lose almost 60% of your wealth invested in stocks. Every single time that households go all in, the market breaks. And that's what we're seeing right now with the strongest equity retail flows on record. When everyone is invested in the market, there are no buyers left. So what has to happen? The government has to inject liquidity. What happened this week? The government injected $19 billion into banks because there is no fresh money to push prices higher. And there are only sellers when this kind of fear shows up. That's why the tops that we're seeing right now feel so euphoric. The Dow exceeding 50,000, the SPX exceeding 7,000, then collapses feel sudden. People say that there's trillions of dollars in cash waiting to buy dips. Berkshire Hathaway is holding tons of cash, but are they putting it back into stocks? Absolutely not. They have the biggest cash allocation of all time. When you scale the cash waiting to buy the dips against the total market size, the cash ratio is higher than it was in 2021 and in 1999. Everybody is piling into stocks. Smart money is doing the opposite. Okay? Institutions have been selling tens of billions of dollars in stocks while retail is piling in. This is the classic transfer of risk that we have seen before every single crash, from professionals to the public. The entire system is designed to profit off of retail order flow today. That is why Citadel and Virtue pay so much money to other brokerages like Robinhood, Webull, Charles Schwab, Fidelity, so that they can take your orders and trade ahead of them. They use payment for order flow to buy your orders. They can process them in dark pools. They can execute them in hidden venues to prevent actual stock prices from moving as they should. There is zero transparency. They don't hit the national best bid and offer until after they've made all their trades. Retail's not losing because they're dumb. They're losing because the game is rigged against retail. Lit Xchange is being created for retail by retail. No dark pools, no payment for order flow, and real lit market execution so your trades actually hit the open markets. Retail investors have already invested over $1.3 million into Lit Xchange's Founders Program because they're becoming owners of the company. They're getting real equity in the company, plus perks like custom silver coins, lifetime level 2 data. This is the first time that an upcoming stock and crypto brokerage has ever let everyday retail investors own equity pre-launch through the regulation crowdfunding under the Jobs Act. I'll drop a link below if you guys want to check it out if you're not already a founding member. Now, let's talk about the real warning signal from the Fed here. The Fed's real warning signal is the 2-year Treasury yield. If you want to know what the market actually believes, do not listen to the Fed speeches. Do not listen to Jerome Powell or whoever the Fed president will be. Watch the 2-year Treasury. We have Jay Powell telling us that inflation is sticky and interest rates may stay higher, but the 2-year yield is falling. The reason it's falling is because institutions think that the Federal Reserve is going to be forced to cut because the economy is breaking or slowing down significantly. If inflation was truly reaccelerating, the yield would be rising, not falling. We're seeing massive delinquencies rising in auto loans, in credit cards. Commercial real estate is under massive pressure. Lower income consumers are running out of cash. Credit is tightening. And this always happens before recessions show up in job numbers. Job numbers have just been revised lower in one of the largest 12-month revisions in history. The government just bailed out banks with another $19 billion injection, not out of generosity, but they're trying to control the stress. This typically plays out through the bond market. Then credit gets tight, and then earnings get slow, and then layoffs increase, and then stocks finally are forced to correct through these liquidity injections. And the bond markets, as visible on the 2-year yield, are screaming that things are actually slowing down. That is not when smart money adds risk by investing in stocks more heavily. That's when history says that danger is the absolute highest. Every major crash starts when the crowd is the most confident. And that's the euphoria we're seeing right here. And that major crash ends when fear has completely taken over. And right now, the confidence is off the charts. If you haven't already seen it, you can become a founding member of Lit Xchange. So far, hundreds of investors have invested over $1.3 million to own equity and perks in the company. You can see the pitch deck, the business plan, the SEC Edgar filings, everything here directly on the funding portal website that is down in the comments. I would rather pay for a trade and know that I'm getting the absolute best price. Here's a press release from the Securities and Exchange Commission stating, Robinhood provided misleading information to customers about the true costs of choosing to trade with the firm. One of Robinhood's selling points was trading commission-free, but due to its unusually high payment for order flow rates, meaning what you have to pay in hidden fees, Robinhood customers' orders were executed at prices that were inferior to other brokers' prices. The order finds that Robinhood provided prices that were so bad that it deprived customers of $34.1 million, even after taking into account the savings from not paying a commission. So they still found that if people paid $5, all of them combined per trade, they still lost $34 million more on top of that. You can see how crazy that is. And of course, Robinhood agreed to pay the $65 million fine. That fine didn't go back to people. That fine went to the SEC and FINRA and the United States Treasury. And it all goes back to payment for order flow. Find the link at litexchange.com below. See why other people are investing in the company as well. We have patents filed for our Swarm Intelligence Collaborative Intelligence Network, as well as Lit Yield for your cash and Lit Staking for your cryptocurrency. Time to say goodbye to the dinosaur brokerages.